Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Platinum Achievements. Today's date is 6/4. It's a Tuesday. I know I'm really late to recording this one, but I don't want to miss a week. But it was a hectic weekend. We had Sammy's family birthday party at the park. It was a lot of fun. Saw some friends, saw some family. Good time was had. And I'm currently on my week in between my old job and my new job. So I've just been kind of relaxing, just enjoying my time, taking it slow. How's everyone doing this week? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're hunting well for your achievements and your trophies. And speaking of, let's get right into it. The gameplay you're seeing on screen is the Artful Escape. I enjoy Artful Escape. I'll talk more about it in a little bit with my games that I've been playing as far as trophy hunting. And just a gorgeous game. Sammy likes to watch it. I was waiting for this game for years after they first announced it, and when it finally came out, it did not disappoint. I know it's not super heavy on the gameplay. It's a very simplistic platformer with some dialogue choices that don't really mean anything, but it's just the telling of a story, and I like a good narrative platforming story game. I'm a simple man with simple needs. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the gameplay while we go over the rest of the topics. Played on my PS5, by the way, so it's topical with the PlayStation news that's coming up. And with the showcase that just happened. I was going to do Bloodborne, but I already recorded this, and it's what I was actually playing this week instead of just recording Bloodborne for the sake of it. I'm probably going to start playing Dark Souls 3 as well soon. That'll be fun. On the PlayStation. I already completed it on the Xbox, so I'm a baller like that. We'll start with achievements this week. I'm currently at 698,585 gamer score. Those games are from a little game called Recore, Humanity, and Golf with Your Friends. Now, Golf with Your Friends, I have completed the game yet again. The two latest DLCs I had were complete. Man, the Corrupted Forest was stupid tough. I think there's like the last hole, maybe? It's only 9 holes, which is good. It's a shorter DLC. And the last hole is like, if you want to get a hole in one, you got to pixel perfect, hit this spot, and then it bounces off, and then hits like a stick, and then it lands on the spot. I spent so much time to do that. So much time. And there's also one of the early holes, I think it's the second hole, you have to like nail a shot in between like a spinning, rotating wheel of buckets, and if you mess that up, you might as well start over. Definitely, I would say the hardest. No, you know what? I wouldn't even say it's the hardest because it was a shorter course. So if you messed up, you could still just go back. But it was tough. It was a tough completion. I'm glad that's done. And then we moved on to Humanity, which just released on Game Pass. It's a pretty fun puzzle game. I'm really enjoying it. I'll probably go back to it in a little bit. I took a little break from it. By a little break, I mean barely a day or two. So it's still on my rotation. I'm still gonna be working on it. It's a very fun puzzle game where you're a dog and you're guiding humans, I guess, to the afterlife using commands. Pretty cool concept. I enjoy it. You basically you set up like instructions by just placing, let's call them placing like tiles. So like you tell them to go this way or that way. It'll tell them when to jump or to super jump, and that's really as far as I am. I'm sure there's other instructions, but a very fun puzzle game, to be sure. And I've been chipping away at Recore. I'm enjoying that game. There's some frustrating moments, to be sure. My mind hasn't changed, though. I think it's still a very fun and engaging game. Just some very tough combat sequences. I think I did like the second boss before you meet Victor and your buddy Kai goes missing. You get like the spider bot that helps you climb, and there's like a dungeon boss. He was very tough, and it didn't help that he was spawning other little spider dudes to come at me too. So that's where I'm at as far as my Xbox adventures. Now moving over to the PlayStation, I've had some great progress there. Now onto the PlayStation side, we are at 108 platinum, 727 gold, 936 silver, 2230 bronze, and those come to us from the PS4 Artful Escape, which I'm not sure if I talked about last time, Really enjoy that game. Sammy really likes watching me play it. Very colorful, or trippy space opera guitar game. You can probably hear that helicopter going overhead right now. Then we also have the Artful Escape on PS5, which I did yesterday, all during Sammy's nap. It was crazy how I speedran that game. So good. And then we have the Solitaire Conspiracy. I was able to snag the Platinum last night. The countdown mode is pretty tricky, but there's a cool little quote-unquote cheat to it where what I would do is once I started getting to the higher levels, and for those of you that don't know what the Solitaire Conspiracy is, it's I think I've talked about on earlier episodes. You're playing solitaire, basically. You have 4 suits of cards at most. They have different abilities, the face cards, based on when you align the ace. Like when you start building off the ace, the face cards will light up and you get to use abilities. And there's a campaign mode where Greg Miller is maybe your friend, maybe your enemy towards the end. I'm not going to spoil it. But then I think Alana Pierce is in it, and a few other internet personalities. I know I've talked about it before, but I just completed it. Got the Platinum. It was great. I did it on Xbox as well a while ago. But you have your campaign, which is basically just level up your character, complete these missions, which are just playing different versions of Solitaire over and over. And then I think there's another game mode called Skirmish, which is kind of like practice mode, where you can choose 1 to 4 suits of cards to use. And then there's Countdown, which is like their horde is not the right word, but it's kind of like a horde mode, but you're timed. So every time you place a card, you get 2 seconds added to your clock. Every time you use an ability, I think you get 2 seconds. So you need to get to level 15. And that's pretty challenging in this game. It's not super easy. It's very luck-based. But the trick is, once the cards all lay out, take a quick picture with your phone, pause the game, and then go into your phone, look at your picture, and start like making your plan. And I basically would do that for the start of the level. I wouldn't really do it as much throughout the levels. I feel like it might take a little too much time to get your phone out, take the picture, pause. Like, it's precious seconds you'd be wasting. And it was fun. It was good. And I was doing that while also disassembling my wife's wardrobe because it broke. Cheap piece of garbage wardrobe that she overloaded with clothes. So now she bought the exact same wardrobe, and I got to rebuild it. But it did force her to get rid of some clothes, so we're on a positive note there. The other problem with playing the Solitaire Conspiracy for me was my PlayStation was having like some major like delay issues. Like trophies weren't popping. It was making me nervous because I hit level 15 and that's the last one I needed, and I was getting real nervous. But trophies weren't popping. Things were really like lagging in the operating system side. So I turned off the PlayStation, or I tried to turn it off. I had to unplug the PlayStation. It would not turn off. Inputs wouldn't register. It was very weird. I haven't had that happen yet with my PlayStation, or even, I mean, I have it with the Xbox, I think a little bit, but not the Series X. I have it with my Xbox One X that's downstairs, just because that's an older piece of tech. So I kind of expect that. I wasn't expecting that with the PS5. But that was my nightmare. I was having some anxiety, because I know how hard getting to level 15 is in that game. But I did it, and I got the Platinum, and we moved right on. It felt real good banging out 2 games like that in one day. So, what's on the agenda for this episode? Well, we are going to go over the PlayStation Showcase that was Friday? Thursday? Maybe Friday? I don't remember. There were some games talked about that I want to bring up and talk about, because I enjoy them. Some things piqued my interest. Overall, I thought it was just an okay showcase. I think it's crazy that they're also, it's not a showcase, it was a state of play. I think they're doing a showcase this year at like E3 time, but I don't know for sure. Let me double check. So yeah, I've been looking into it for a little bit here, and I can't find anything that says if they're gonna do a showcase also, like an E3 style. I know E3's dead, but like summer, I guess it's Summer Games Fest now. I can't find anything saying if they're gonna also have a showcase, which is very odd. I know they don't have like a lot of first party stuff going on this year, but it seems weird that they would just not have something going on in that time period. Because I know Xbox is. Nintendo probably will be. I don't know if they usually. I think they usually do a showcase during like the E3 time. just very odd that just unless I'm missing something, I just can't find anything for it. So yeah, we're gonna go over the Sony State of Play that just happened. I will leave links to the PlayStation video if you want to watch it yourself if you haven't caught it. I will also be leaving our list to the article on GameSpot. That just breaks it all down for you if you just want to do some reading, if you don't want to sit through the whole half-hour video. And yeah, let's just we'll dive into it. We'll go over this. We'll go over the PlayStation Days of Play, which is going on right now. And then we'll give a little speculation as to what's going to happen this weekend at the Xbox Showcase. I will try my damnedest to have a video up for you Sunday night. It will be the last video before I start my new job. And it will be all about what was going on at the Xbox Showcase. So, let us... Oh, and then I'll have some... those two questions from last week that were asked me that I want to do a little more research on. I'll have those for you too at the end later. Let me check on Junior real quick, because in case you couldn't tell by the timbre of my voice, we're playing America's favorite game of Don't Wake Sammy. Oh, that kid is knocked the F out. We took him to a place called Jungle Land, and it's just an indoor like playground type of place. Very cool. Sammy thoroughly enjoyed it. So, knocked him straight out. We were there with my sister and my sister-in-law and her son, who's about 3 months older than Sammy. And they had a blast. It was pretty cool. I've never been there because it's usually packed on the weekends, so Amanda usually takes Sammy during the week. So it was cool that during this week off, I get to do a few of the things that I usually only get pictures for. I don't get to actually experience them with Sammy, so it was pretty cool little place. I think it's called Jungle Land in Malvern, PA. If you have little tykes and you're in that area, definitely worth a look up. So the PlayStation State of Play for May 2024 was okay. It was an okay showcase. I did enjoy watching it. I watched a little bit with Sammy. He wasn't really super into it. He didn't really care too much for it. I mean, he's getting bigger, and there's a lot of stuff that he just doesn't care about. So if it was about cars and Bluey and more flashier games, I'm sure he would have loved it. But you know what? Not for him. I'm back. It was a nothing burger of a phone call. Oh, check my coupon. I'm just kidding. In case you hear this, man, I'm just kidding. I don't mind doing stuff like that. I'm gonna start building your shelf, your wardrobe soon. It's gonna be so much fun for me to build. Again. But yeah, the article breaks down the games, I believe, in order of what they showed. And I'll fully admit, I was watching this on dad mode. So I missed a lot of the finer details of what was going on here. I remember most of it. I'm gonna do my best to go over such things. So we're just gonna go straight down the article list here. The first thing that was shown was Concord, and the cinematic that they showed was gorgeous. It was really cool. I don't want to be like everyone else and say what movie it reminded me of, because that's borderline just every game review being like, it makes you really feel like Spider-Man, or it makes you feel like Batman. That kind of cliche. But I really enjoyed the cinematic. It looked really, really cool. I think they promised that they're gonna have like weekly cinematic updates, which is awesome. Could really flesh out like a really cool story. It's a 5v5. Did I even say what it was? Oh, it's Concord. I'm all over the place today. Pretty tired. But yeah, it's Concord. We've heard about this for a while. We got a good look at the gameplay, but not like a great look. It's from Firewalk Studios. It's a 5v5 multiplayer FPS shooter, and it looks honestly somewhere in between like a Rogue Company and an Overwatch. Like, it's a first-person hero shooter like Overwatch, but it also really gave me like Rogue Company, a Rogue Company feeling. I don't want to say vibes. Hold on, someone else is calling me right now. Who's this? Hello? Hello? There was some phone call, some guy trying to get me to uh change my, I don't know, my power bill, something like that, get a reduced rate. And I told him like 3 times, like, dude, we run for my father-in-law, we don't get that information. And God bless him. That job sucks. I know that job sucks. I've done similar jobs before, but man, he was persistent. But you could tell once I gave him the whole run for my father-in-law, which we do, and that we don't get the electric information. Dude, he started stumbling. He had no idea what to say. So I I respect the hustle. Like, you have to. Some people have to do those jobs, but man, I do not want to go back to ever having to do jobs like that. But anyway, where were we? Concord. Yeah. So falls somewhere in between Rogue Company and Overwatch for me, and it looks pretty cool. I wouldn't be opposed to giving it a shot. Like, I don't have any time for these kinds of games, but I'm also at a point, and I've been at a point really thanks to games like Gears and Halo, where I'm very willing to just forego a completion just to play a cool game. Like, I used to be very like, I only want to play a game if I want to be able to complete it, but honestly, for this, I'd give it a shot, you know. And now my chest hurts. If I die on this call on this recording, everything goes to Sammy. Um, all my games, all my Blu-rays, all my everything, all my books. Man, you can't touch them. They can all get put into storage for all I care. But Sammy gets them. Okay, he's my little baby boy, and I love him so much. He's my special boy. Anyway, so that was Concord. Looks cool. I'm excited to see more, and I'll probably give it a shot when it releases. I believe it's a free-to-play, like, live service game. Uh, Full launch August 23rd. Actually, let me double check that. I don't want to give out the wrong information. Oh, Concord isn't free to play, according to PC Gamer. Yeah, not free to play apparently. That kind of, I feel like that it's a tricky road. It's gonna cause more investment if you actually buy into it, and maybe that means that all your costs will be up front, and you won't have to do like season passes or anything. I'd kind of be surprised if they don't try to do that stuff, because a lot of paid games also do that. But uh, it does create a barrier to entry. You're gonna get less people in at first, but I mean, how many free to play live service games do we really see succeeding now? Like, it's not many, because just games like Fortnite and Call of Duty just dominate. So that could help them. Next up, they showed God of War Ragnarok coming to PC on September 19th with the Valhalla DLC. I thought it was a little odd that they really, well, I guess if it's coming to PC, I guess they kind of got to specify that, but the Valhalla DLC was free, so okay. But that's cool. I'm not gonna be able to play it on my PC, but I will be able to play it again on my PlayStation. And you know, I haven't touched it since really launch. I will go back to it because I really loved God of War. Was it 16? 2016? Maybe 2018? 2016? I don't remember what date that came out, but I love that first one. And I enjoyed what I played of Ragnarok. It was just, I think I just beat a really big game, and I didn't really want to commit to another big game at the time. So, Sammy was a lot younger. He was more demanding. Now he's like down for naps, going to bed at a decent hour. So, I get like a little bit of time at night, and he's a good boy. But yeah, that's definitely one of those games where I have to play during the nighttime when he's napping, when he's asleep, or during the day when he's napping. Like, I've been playing Recore while he watches, and he checks in here or there. But can't be playing God of War where you're just ripping people to shreds in front of him. That's a no-go. Then you had Dynasty Warriors Origin being shown. I'm not a big Dynasty Warrior guy. I like the concept of it. It's cool, but I've just never really played them, so not super for me. Then you have a game called Infinity Nikki, and I'll be honest, this was one of the games that I dad watched. So I'm gonna look at this game real quick. Let me take a little peeky poo, jog my memory here. I think it's based on like a dress-up series. Then they've turned it into like an anime open world game, maybe? Looks like a platformer. Turn to a little cat person. Some buzz about this? Like, it looks really good. But, okay, yeah, that one's not really for me either. So if you're into that, that's cool. But not for me. Not for me. It's going into test quarter 3 of 2024. Then you had a game called Ballad of Antara, and it looks like a Soulsborne type game. It didn't really blow me away. Oh, wait, no, actually, was this the... I'm getting them a little mixed up, because there were 2 of these types of games, I believe. So let me look this one up as well. Is this the one that kind of looked like Bloodborne? Yeah, this one kind of looked like a Bloodborne with the bell, like it sounded similar. It looks good. The problem is these Soulsborne-like games, Souls-like games, as they've been referred to. There's a lot of them now, and you really got to do something special to kind of stand apart. And while this looks cool, I don't know. Something feels off for me, and I don't quite know what it is. But I'm not opposed to trying it. But yeah, something just feels off about this one. I don't know what it really is. And that's coming out in 2025. But then we have some VR2 titles, which, why are we even bothering at this point? Like, Sony has let this new PSVR just out to die. It's insane. I was already really peeved because I liked the first PSVR. And then they said, oh, we're doing PSVR 2. Guess what? No backwards compatibility. So now I gotta buy a whole nother PlayStation VR, like, silo. And some of my games might kind of transfer over, but most of them won't. Like, I'm not doing that. I do have to get off my lazy butt, and I'll probably do that today, actually. I have to order my PSVR adapter. I think Sony is still giving them away for free, if you just provide, like, the serial number. So I gotta do that, because I have some very good PSVR games that I really want to eventually play. Like, I have Virtual Reality still, which was I played that game. I almost fell twice trying to put my hands on like a counter in the bathroom. Never had that happen in a video game. It was such an insane experience. But you have this game called Skydance's Behemoth, which Skydance is the studio that made it. This is the team behind Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which is another PSVR game that I have to eventually play because they gave it away on PS Plus 1 month. And this one looked okay. This one didn't really blow me away. And that's unfortunate because I feel like that's a lot of PSVR 2. And they also showed Alien Rogue Incursions, and that didn't really interest me either. If I want to play an Alien game, I'll play Isolation. Like, there's just nothing selling this PSVR 2. And they're literally just letting it out to die, which is kind of my suspicion as to why they're doing that PC port, because they need, or the PC adapter with limited functionality. That just... They don't care about this thing. I don't think they ever really did. I think they were just obligated by maybe like prior management trying to promise things. Who knows? And then we have Marvel Rivals was shown, and this is much more of an Overwatch clone with a Marvel paint job, and it looks okay. It looks very, very much like Overwatch, like from the UI to the impact sounds to the impact notifications with the little red X. I mean, honestly, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, and I think even if they did something like this for, like, DC, which I love DC, I don't know if I'd be really into it either. It's weird. I mean, people are gonna really enjoy it, I think, but I don't know. It seems like such an odd choice to me, and nothing they really showed really makes me want to get into it, honestly. That's all I'll say about that. That's it's closed beta coming to PS5, another 5v5 hero shooter. It was weird they had 2 of them in this showcase, but it's coming to PS5. It's also coming to Xbox, which is really cool. I want to throw that in there, not as like a Xbox has games too, but like I feel like particularly on the Sony side, when these things are kind of shown at their showcases, it's very easy to assume that they're just going to be exclusives. And they do a great job in that marketing aspect where they can really sell it without selling it that it's only coming to their platform. And I think the reason that is because I feel like on the Xbox side, especially at the showcases, they kind of really tell you like Xbox exclusive, or I think they've even said like timed exclusive or platform exclusive. Like they're very clear. I feel like when there's an exclusive element to it. For Sony, it's just kind of like it's like we're not gonna tell you. Go do your research. Next up was a game called Where Winds Meet, and it looks kind of like Neo mixed with like Dark Souls-y combat. It looks really good, just as well. It's another one of those Souls like looking games. Um, yeah, it looks good. It gives me a little Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon feeling, and it looks good. I remember being interested in this one more than Ballad of Antera. No release window at this time, so there you go. Something to look forward to. Then you have the Until Dawn remake. I loved Until Dawn. That's coming out in the fall of 2024 for PS5 and PC. Probably won't get it. I really enjoyed the first one, but I don't really feel like I need to play this again. If they give it away on like a PS Plus, or if it becomes really cheap, maybe I'll get it. I'm curious what the remake elements are, if it's just kind of like that's the nomenclature they're using instead of just saying Until Dawn port. I don't know what really else you can remake. Maybe like up-res the character models because they might be a little dated now, but you're still using the same actors. So, like a Hayden Panettiere, Rami Malek. I'm curious if they have to get compensated for this. It's interesting. Then we got Path of Exile 2. It didn't really interest me all that much. The Silent Hill 2 remake didn't really interest me either, but that's coming out October 8th. I know a lot of people are kind of excited about that, but also some people aren't. They showed some Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not big on Monster Hunter, but I've never really tried them. And then the crowning achievement of this somewhat average showcase. We got the reveal of Astro Bot for PS5 coming September 6th. I am so buying this game. I think Sammy will absolutely love it. For those of you that don't know, Astro Bot, he's kind of like PlayStation's brand new baby boy mascot for their like tech showcases. Like they had him in PSVR with Astro Bot's Rescue Mission. Then when you bought the PS5, you got Astro's Playroom, which was amazing. And this looks like a very expansive evolution of the character. It looks like they're actually like putting him in his own franchise now, not just as like a tech demo character, but it looks like he might become a new PlayStation mascot like permanently or prominently, which is awesome. I love Astrobot, and he's got a little fox with him. And as we all know, I love foxes because of my baby girl Foxy Bear over there, laying on the beanbag chair, getting comfy coochie copy. So yeah, Astrobot 3D platforming. The worlds look great. It looks beautiful. It looks like they're adding a bunch of Astrobots with like maybe abilities for like the other games. Like there's a Kratos one I saw. There's the Journey one. Maybe a Bloodborne will show back up. I'm trying to see. There was some pictures of them up top here on the page. Maybe it was a different page. Was it this one? Here's some over here. So yeah, Astrobot is just what it's being called. Cannot wait for that game. That's gonna be so much fun. Can't wait. I'm gonna go pre-order it today. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of want to go pre-order a couple games today at GameStop. I'll fix my cord over here. I'm debating on Assassin's Creed Shadows because I'm really excited for it, but I also haven't finished Odyssey and haven't really touched Valhalla, and I've got Chronicles India and Russia to play, and I feel like I should finish some of those first before I just buy another Assassin's, because I'm not going to play Assassin's Creed Shadows right away because I'm fairly certain there's like story elements that might carry over present day stuff, probably. Like Mirage I was fine with playing because that was kind of like a prequel to Valhalla. So, but Shadows, like, it looks so good, but I have the two other big ones to play and then the two smaller ones. And I feel like as a responsible husband, father, and gamer guy, I should work through my backlog before I just knowingly buy a game and just throw it right on top of the pack. You know what I mean? So, like, I still got Banisher sitting up there in the shrink wrap. I haven't even unshrink wrapped it, and I got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I got a million games to play. I'm being a better boy about not just buying frivolously, and that's because, as I've said before, I have a baby boy, and he's my best boy. He's the best boy in the whole world, better than your boy. I'm just kidding. I don't know your kids. Sammy is really good though, and we have plenty of babies to compare him to. So I know he's good. I know it. All right, and then bouncing off of the PlayStation State of Play, we have from the PlayStation blog. Who wrote this one? Mr. PlayStation? Do they? I don't go on the blog too much. Oh, they do say Isabella Tomatis. Isabel Tomatis. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Vice President Global Marketing, SIE. Oh. It's another exciting year for PlayStation fans with Days of Play 2024 kicking off this week. This was started on May 28th, so Days of Play I think runs concurrently with like the E3 Summer Games Fest time frame. They started Global Tradition 7 years ago. Celebrate passionate fans. So let's see what they got. There's some PS Plus offerings. The PS Plus games for the month are Spider-Man: The Cosmic Shake, Streets of Rage 4, AEW Fight Forever. So I know one of those games I'll download, and that will be SpongeBob because I don't care about the other two personally. Also, let's see. The EA Sports Football Club 24 is still available for monthly download. This is for all your tiers, by the way. That and the SpongeBob listing I just did. All your tiers, Essential, Extra, and Premium, if you don't already know, which is cool. I don't play football games, but I downloaded that one. It's a cool addition. You can also get a cool exclusive Roblox pack. Extra titles in the catalog for premium. You got a bunch of PSVR 2 games, I guess. I don't think they're exclusive games, but they're there. Those include Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, Walkabout Mini Golf, Synth Riders Before Your Eyes, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapters 1 and 2. Okay. You got some PS2 catalog editions with Tomb Raider Legends, Star Wars Clone Wars, which was so goddamn good of a game. My lord, I loved the Horde mode in that game. If it's available for standalone purchase, I might pick it up at some point. And then you've also got Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, which I'm going to double check right now because I've never played a Sly Cooper game. Let's see if I can just buy Sly Cooper because I'll add it to my list for sure skis. Because like I said, never played a Sly Cooper. There's a couple franchises in PlayStation I've just never touched. Sly Cooper. It's because I didn't have a PS2. I didn't have a PS3 either. Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter, I think, are the big ones I just completely missed. And I mean the old Ratchet and Clanks, but I did the newer Ratchet and Clanks, so Sly Cooper. Doesn't show up on the app. So I'm gonna do a little research here. Because I have games like the Bully game. You can just play on its own. And I'm kind of hoping you can for some of these. Google. Constant interruptions. Man, just calling again. Hey, babe. Oh, apparently Sly Cooper comes out on PS4, PS5, June 11th. So it's not out yet. That's why I can't see it. But that's awesome. I will probably hop on that. Actually, what is it? I'll be right back. But I'm gonna do a little. I gotta do dog things. I'll be right back. I'm back. I live in a world of constant interruptions. Alright, so apparently, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything, but it comes out June 11th, so hopefully that gets just its own release, because I want to play the game, but I don't want to pay for premium. I'll just buy your game. Sony, let me buy the game. Okay. Wow, we were running pretty well. I had a bunch of breaks, so. There's some game catalog editions: Dredge, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Cricket 24, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Definitive Edition. Game trial, days of play activities. A lot of cool stuff. So I will leave this list as well, linked below. And I reached out to my boy Gary, and let me tell you, he had some words. Let's see. What did Gary think about the showcase, or the state of play? And he says, let's see, that's how it was. He said, it was amazing. I can't wait to hire my trophy guy to unlock all these trophies for me. Man, Gary, what a wild take. You really relapsed, haven't you? It's kind of disgusting. You really need to get some help. Now, on to the Xbox side. I believe we've talked about this on an earlier episode, but let's talk about the showcase coming up. What do we really expect to see there, guys? Guys and gals? What do we expect to see? I'm going to throw out a Hail Mary off the top of my dome. I think we might get a trailer. Wait, there was already a trailer, wasn't there? Let me double check. Alright, we're from the start. Like, the one that is like almost certainly going to be there is Gear 6, and I'm really excited for that. I don't know if they will show anything on a Gears collection. I don't think there really is one in the works. I don't really want one. You know what I mean? Because I can already play them all on my Xbox. I get PC players can't play all of them. But it's just going to further dilute what's already playable. I don't really want that. I'd rather the resources go to, you know, making a new Gears, or honestly, let them make other games within the Gears universe. If you're going to, as Microsoft, mandate that the Coalition strictly stick with the Gears IP, make some other games in there, like Gears Tactics, or the one that I always say they should make is like a Resident Evil first-person horror game where you don't realize that you're in the Gears of War world until like the very end, like you realize you're in E-Day or something like that. Or maybe, you know, for selling it purposes, you could advertise that it's in the Gears universe. But a Gears of War Resident Evil first-person horror could be so cool, especially like during E-Day. That could be amazing. It would give a whole nother like dimension to that day, and I think it would be really cool. I love the idea, and they could do it with like a demo. They could do a PT style demo where you're in a building, it's collapsing, you're hearing all these monstrous sounds, you're hearing gunfire, explosions, this, that, the other thing, and then at the end you see your person like open the door and it's the locust swarm, and like maybe Marcus like pushes you back in the door and is like, oh, like get to cover or some shit. And I think that would be really cool. And then just give us the full game at some point. Like a very cool horror game would work very well in the Gears universe. And you know what? Put a cherry on top of it. If you're going to show me Gear 6, I want to see... Someone's beeping their horn outside. How dare you? I want to see a Bender Rodriguez skin in the game. Because, as we know, John DiMaggio, who does the voice of Marcus, he also plays Bender. I would love to play as Bender in Gears of War. It wouldn't make sense, but I don't give a damn. Okay? If Fortnite can do it, Gears can do it. Okay, so we had an announcement trailer for this game, the one that I really wanted to see, but I'm really hoping we get to see more gameplay because this game's been on Game Pass since like day one, and that would be Human Fall Flat too. I love Human Fall Flat. I'm gunning to complete it this month again on my Xbox, and maybe I'll throw my balls to the walls and I'll go for the PS4, PS5 copies too. Who knows? Who knows? But it was selected by voting for my casual trophy hunting Discord, where we'll just kind of hang out and just talk trophies. I mean achievements. Achievement hunting Discord, and I love this game, but it's our game to complete this month, and if I'm one of the first 5 to complete it, then I get to suggest a game for the next month's group hunt. So that's a cool little thing that we got going on. It's the first month we're doing it, so who knows if it will stick. But I would love some Human Fall Flat too. Oh, on top of that, what else could be shown? Gear 6 is pretty much a for sure. I would love to see like maybe a mascot platformer be shown off, like a really good one. I'm so detached from like newer games and what's already releasing and this and that I don't even know what studio's working on what. I'm so fried with being a papa. But hopefully having this new job will keep me less fried. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Maybe show some Alan Wake 2 DLC. That could be cool. That could be very cool. This wasn't a really thought out segment, you know what I mean? Oh, give me a Recore 2. Why not? Just throw a Recore 2 in there. Maybe just some sort of update on Halo. I'm looking at the site now. Discuss the achievement overhaul that's been rumored for a while. And we got Indy last year, right? Was it last year? Was Indiana Jones that they showed? No, they showed Indiana Jones. Oh, they did. Did they do a thing earlier this year? I can't even remember. When was Indiana Jones really showed? Oh, I still don't have the Dial of Destiny Blu-ray. I should really get on that at some point. It was back in January. That's right. They did something in January, and then they did the business meeting, and then okay. So yeah, I think we might see a little Indiana Jones. I don't know how much. I would assume they're gonna try to push it back into everybody's mind that it's still coming. Yeah, let's do a quick search. Upcoming Xbox games. See if we can get an idea of what could be there. Maybe a new Doom. A new Doom could be cool. Yeah, the rumor is the Dark Ages. I would expect that to still be multiplat. Still Wakes the Deep will be out soon. That could be there as just like a hey, this is coming. They might put that in like I think they do like a third-party section. And maybe Star Wars Outlaws, Visions of Mana possibly. Yeah, I think they might do like an indie game section. Ooh, you know what there could be? What could be really cool? A new Dead Rising. I do really enjoy the Dead Rising games. Flintlock Siege of the Dawn. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Siege of the Dawn. I think they may show that as well. And let's throw our balls to the walls yet again. I'm gonna say Hollow Knight Silksong is gonna be there. Calling it now. And you know what? Let's get real saucy here, since we're making predictions. The new Mass Effect might be there. I'm going to say that now too. I'm throwing all my balls at all of the walls. I'm saying Mass Effect is going to get shown. And that's where I'll leave that. Otherwise we're going to get so crazy, which we already are. But yeah. That's what I'm thinking, guys and gals. And then, of course, they're going to be showing the Black Ops 6 stuff with the direct after, and I'll probably look at that, but not huge into COD. It's a rare instance that I'm interested in a Call of Duty. So, what else? What else for this week's episode? Let me go over my Let me go over my goals for June. So the goals for June: complete 1 Onyx Metal in Gears 3. This is going to get significantly harder because I'm pretty sure I've done the easy ones at this point. Which is just like completing the campaign. I think I did the one for hitting all... Yeah, I did the interactions because that one technically doesn't take that long. That's just a bit of like a My Name is Mayo type grind. But I could probably get easily the points for arcade mode. And honestly, if I throw on a second controller, I could probably slowly chip away at a bunch of the other campaign things. But yeah, 1 Onyx Metal Gears 3. I also want to complete 7 games. And here's the caveats. One of them has to be from PlayStation Plus. The essential tier, the old PS Plus. One of them has to be from Xbox Game Pass. Now I'm including Game Pass and or the old Gold system, which is now... Well, I guess it's gone. It's not really what Game Pass Core is, but one from Game Pass and or games with Gold. Plus, I need to finish 2 physical games. And then that will leave me 3 other floating games. So, that's the games I want to finish. I also want to watch 5 Blu-rays. And I'm honest, I might go to the shelf now and just pick them out. I'll figure that out. But I'm going to plan to watch 5 Blu-rays. I'm doing really good with watching my Blu-rays this year, guys. Let me tell you what. And then I'm going to read 2 books. And the books that I'm going to read, I have one already picked out. I'm slowly chipping away at Sandland, which is a really good manga so far. I think I'm on chapter... They just got the tank, so I think that's chapter 3. And I think they're about to see this... I think they call it the Sky Tank. Let me see. I'll crack it open right here. Yeah, I'm on chapter 4. And part of the reason I'm reading this, one, because I bought it because Akira Toriyama died. And I didn't want to start reading Dragon Ball, even though I like Dragon Ball a lot. But Sandland I like because it's only 1 volume. It's a contained story. And also the game looks really good. But much like with Alan Wake 2, I'm not getting the game until I finish the book. So I have the Sandland book to read. I've got the Alan Wake book sitting on my shelf. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. But I will pick out another book. I kind of want to read a book that's not either comic or manga as well. And I've started 1984. Maybe I'll just keep chipping away at that one too. Maybe. But yeah, I think that's that. God, long recording, but I was interrupted a handful of times. An hour, shit. So this is coming at you from the future because I forgot to record this portion. Sammy's actually up from his nap, so you may be hearing Curious George and or the toy piano and or Sammy in the background. I'm going to check on him here and there. But I forgot to bring up the questions of the week. Foolish of me, I know. So we got 2 questions. One from my boy Slugger JD in the Discord. Rub Dub put the slug in the tub, you know what I'm saying? And his question is, do you have any platinums or 100% on the Xbox or PlayStation that you wouldn't recommend? And I wrote down a little list because, honestly, aside from shovelware type of things, I mean, I would not recommend certain things. Let's see. On the Xbox side, I have 3 games listed. One of them's been delisted, but it was, even if it was still active, I wouldn't recommend it because it's such a grindy game. They're slamming a monster truck or something. This kid's a goob. But I love him. On the Xbox, I do not recommend Ark Survival Evolved. God, this kid's a menace. But yeah, don't recommend Ark Survival Evolved. I do not like the type of game it is. And it's too complex for me. I'm too dumb, I guess. I also don't like that people can go in and mess with your stuff, or they could when I was playing it. Then we got an old one. Or no, let me say that one for last, because that one's more fun. Dead Alliance. It's a grindy Xbox and PlayStation game. It's on, they were on PlayStation. They got delisted because the servers got shut down. But they were just such a grind to play. It was insane. And I did it on one, and then the other one, the server shut down without me really knowing. So I'll never have it complete on the PlayStation. It's literally just like a first-person shooter where you're fighting other people, but then there's zombies that you can use to attack each other, or they can attack you. And Yeah, it was such a grind. I would have never recommended it. I forced my buddy to play it, and sadly for him, he didn't complete the game in time. So sucks to be you, Creesh. Then, as far as the Xbox and I believe the PlayStation 3 side of things, Thor, God of Thunder, the movie tie-in, that game was very hard at certain points. I do not recommend that game even remotely. Oddly enough, though, the Captain America game was really good. I thought. You okay, bud? I think he's reading over there. And like another game from that time period, the Green Lantern game actually wasn't bad either. But the Thor game, there were some parts that were ridiculously tough. Then we hop on over to the PlayStation side of things. And the only reason I have them split like this is because this is really how I beat them. So I just know they're on that platform. I don't know if they're on the other platforms. Bunny Raiders. It's a free game. Free platinum. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a great game. But then there's also other, like, not that Bunny Raiders is a shovelware game. There's other very cheap platinums. Tokyo Run, I have. You just run down a street and collect some coins. There's nothing really else to it. I wouldn't recommend that one either. And even though Darker Skies is the third one and the last one for this question. Darker Skies is a third-person horror puzzle game, I guess, set in the War of the Worlds universe. It's actually the second game in the series, I believe. The first one is Gray Skies. I bought Gray Skies after because I just love abusing myself, and they were probably on sale. But Darker Skies, I don't recommend that one. I wouldn't touch it again. But I guess I kind of will because I have Gray Skies, and I need to finish that. So, and then from Lucky Boy, are there any platinums you're not proud of, and why? Also, which type of trophies are your least favorites, or do you think belong or don't belong in games? Let's see. Zero Death Run. Oh, hold on. I guess I'm gonna work my way backwards. Trophies that don't belong in games. Zero Death Runs suck. Nothing that's related to really hard RNG, like the. Dude, Sammy's going to town on some chicken nuggies. Hey, bud. So you like RNG, like in Borderlands 2, I believe it was. You had to find like the certain type of I want to say psycho, maybe the ones that were like hiding in certain things. I hate those. I don't like those at all. If you want to make it sort of Dark Souls like, where there's RNG to get an item, but there's multiple ways to get the items, I'm fine with that, I guess. But the RNG trophies, I do not like. Oh, like the cat call in Injustice 2. That's a nightmare to try and get. I know a lot of people have problems with multiplayer trophies, but I don't necessarily, as long as the multiplayer's engaging and fun enough. And as long as it's not crazy difficult or a crazy grind or anything with just ridiculous. And I get the irony because I'm going for Seriously 3.0. But I'm talking more in games that, let's call it like Tomb Raider, where there's the campaign and then there's just kind of like a multiplayer added on. Whereas something like Gears of War, like a Halo, it's like campaigns, like I'd say like 60% of the game, and then the other 40% is multiplayer type of deal. Those are okay with. But just forced multiplayer things, I don't like that much. Since we're going backwards, yeah, we kind of tackled that. Least favorite trophies and trophies that don't belong in games. Platinums that I'm not proud of, and why? Ooh, let's take a gander at my platinums. Because that's going to be slightly different than the don't do these trophies. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? Trophies that I'm not... Achievements or platinums or 100% I'm not proud of. It's tough because there's not really games... There are some, but I feel like most of the games that I play, I wouldn't be like, oh, I feel so ashamed I've played that. Like, I haven't played like a Peppa Pig, for one. Sorry if you have. The The closest one, I'm scrolling from the beginning to the top of my list. And I'm just going to call out games that could be not proud ofs, but I'll work through them. Or I'll discuss them. Had a Full Boyfriend. If you don't know what this one is, I think it was given away on PlayStation a while ago. That's a PS Plus game. It's a pigeon dating simulator. But, like, if you get past a certain point, it gets, like, really wacky and crazy. But that was kind of like a meme game. That one was fun. I'm not ashamed of that. Adam's Venture Origins. It's a, like an Uncharted knockoff, like, around Indiana Jones times. You good, bud? Oh, he's got his lightning balloon. Hang on. Good chow. Your balloon? Can you say please? Go, buddy. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, Adam Venture Origins. It's not a great game. No bronzes, 10 golds, 4 silvers. So that's a great, end of platinum. So that's great. I'm not proud of. Keep scrolling. Little Adventures on the Prairie is not one I would say I'm particularly proud of, but I believe the creator was a kind of funny community member who was using the funds to fund the next game. I would say I'm not exactly proud to have that on my card, but I'm not ashamed. Like there's a difference between not proud and ashamed, I feel like. Like, if I had something like Hannah Montana, or, like, what's the game? I think it's called, like, JoJo Siwa Dance Party. That I would be ashamed of. Continuing to scroll. No. Yeah, so I have a game called Alien Destroyer, where it's basically just, like, an alien horde you're fighting on a rock. It's not bad. It's a shovel-wary shooter. It's competent. It's fun. No bronzes. I like a game with no bronzes. Speaking of no bronzes, I think the closest thing I could have to an ashamed game, like I just mentioned, was Tokyo Run. You're like a ninja, and you're running down an alley, and you have your sword on your back, but your sword kind of bends to, like, your character, so it's not, like, really there. It's not the best made game. But yeah, Tokyo Run. All you do is you just run and collect coins. That's about it. Woodle Tree Adventures. Sadly no platinum, and more bronzes than golds or silvers. I could say I'm not ashamed, just not proud. Also previously mentioned Bunny Raiders, 11 golds and a platinum. Very nice. And then do I have it on PlayStation? I believe I do. Where is it? There's an older game that I feel like keeps getting remastered. I'm trying to find it because I'm pretty sure I have it on PlayStation. And if I pass anything else, I will let you know. Woodle Tree Adventure. Darker Skies, yeah. I wouldn't say I mean, it was okay. It was okay, but I wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't say I'm ashamed either. Blind Postman's great. Mr. Massagi's great. There it is. Crypt of the Serpent King. Not ashamed. I love that game. I buy that game on Xbox for all my buddies constantly as just a joke gift because it's so cheap. And it's just, I'll say I'm proud of that one. That's a good one to have. That's a fun one to have. More golds than bronzes, more silvers than bronzes. Let's go. It's just like it feels like an old school D&D campaign come to life where you just go through dungeons, collect keys, battle monsters. Very fun, simple game. Okay. I keep saying this. Not ashamed, but not 100% proud, but I am glad I got it. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, and the reason is that a guy in the Discord, Skrillis, I think when we were all playing this game when it first came out, he told us about this tip to, like, you have to get a certain amount of downs with weapons, and he told us how to do it easily. Yeah? And basically what you did was you down a guy and just basically pop him a couple more times so his health's really low when he gets back up, and then just re-down him. So we were a bunch of monsters in that game. Emerald Shores, I don't even remember. I don't even remember this game. Oh wait, now I kind of remember it. Not ashamed, definitely not proud. Crypt of the Serpent King remastered 4K edition. Did that one too. 11 golds though. They changed up the trophy distribution. Very nice. 11 golds and a platinum. I'll be proud of that one. I don't even care. What are you chewing on, Fox? This kid keeps giving the dog his nuggies. I'm looking through the list. Paw 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 is not a bad game. It's a rattle-like game where you're like either animals or you're stuffed animals, and you're fighting the oppressive higher kingdom that's over top of you. That's trying to make you all wear pants, and you're part of the no pants rebellion or something like that. It's a funny concept. A lot of these quote-unquote bad games that I play have really fun concepts. Halloween Puzzle would probably be the closest I am to an ashamed game. I think it's free. 10 golds, 2 silvers, and a plat. And it's just a matching game. Like a tile matching game. And then as we scroll higher up... Yeah, that's pretty much... I wouldn't say I'm really ashamed of any platinums or completions that I have. It's just... There's some that aren't, like, games that I'm proud of. But I'm definitely not ashamed. By any means. So I guess that kind of answers your question, Lucky Boy. Yeah, because your question is not proud of and why. So you weren't looking necessarily for games I'm ashamed of, but, yeah, I definitely have games I'm not proud of, and those ones that I listed were probably them, for sure. And now back to your regularly recorded podcast, while I sit here and edit while I watch my little boy. Okay, bye. Let's go over the gaming recommendations. Since it's a PlayStation-themed episode, I'm going to recommend Astro's Playroom, which you get with your PS5. Sorry, PS4 players and Xbox players. This one's for the PS players this week. Astro's Playroom is a great platformer. Really shows off the capabilities of PS5. Is a love letter to PlayStation properties, past and present. Just a lot of fun. Very cool game. I'm glad that Astro is getting his own standalone title and not just being used as like a tech demo type thing. And of course, as mentioned earlier, the upcoming game that I want you guys to keep on your radar, keeping in line with that, is Astrobot. Look how good this game looks. It's adorable. Go pre-order this game right now. That's what I'm telling you to do. Look at it. It's cute. You fly around on a controller jet. You got a little fox doggy. So cool. And with that, another episode of Platinum Achievements comes to a close. I hope you all enjoyed watching this episode. If you could, go down, subscribe, give the video a like, share with a game-loving friend. If you're feeling saucy, ring a ding-ding the bell. And let me know in the comments what you saw and enjoyed from the PlayStation Showcase or State of Play, what you're looking forward to from the Xbox Showcase. And you know what? Make sure you all have a great rest of your week. I hope it's a good one for you. It's going to be a good one for me. I'm just hanging out with Sammy all week. It's a blast. I've not been able to just have a week where I hang out with Sammy and was not stressed about any sort of work. Adult responsibilities is the wrong way to look at it, because I have other adult responsibilities I got to take care of. But it's been just such a blast to just wake up and hang out with him and not have to worry about going into a job that's really stressing you out. So I love it. But thank you all for listening yet again. Again, have a good week. And I'm going to go play some games before Sammy wakes up, okay? Bye, everybody. Keep on hunting, boys and girls. Bye. I don't know what I'm going to play next. I'm going to figure it out. Bye.